Hello friends, welcome to Weathercast. This is a video on the La Nina which has arrived according to the latest NOAA advisory. La Nina conditions are prevailing in the Pacific Ocean and 2020 is officially a La Nina year now. So what this basically means is that the Pacific Ocean, equatorial Pacific Ocean in the eastern part and the central part has cooler temperature compared to the western part where there are warmer temperature. So the ocean is showing La Nina type conditions where you have cooling here and warming here, and the Nina 3.4 index, which is the difference in the temperature between the central Pacific and the western Pacific, has reached a threshold value of negative zero point 0.5. And so ocean conditions are the first part, and if the atmosphere also engages with the ocean in the sense that if the atmosphere Walker circulation, which is a circulation cell which starts, the ascending branch starts from the western Pacific and the descending branch is in the eastern Pacific, and the Walker circulation cell, if that becomes stronger, that means that it brings in more moisture, the trade winds become stronger, and if the moisture that is being pushed into Australia and Asia is large, then that means that the atmosphere is also engaged, and those are the two conditions which are needed for the La Nina to emerge, and that's how the latest advisory has been uh, officially announced. So, what are the impacts of La Nina when it comes to Asia, especially for Indian monsoon and also the monsoon withdrawal and the winter? What does it mean? So, since the La Nina has emerged later into the boreal summer, so basically the impact on the southwest monsoon won't be that much because the southwest monsoon is almost in the ending stages, and the southwest monsoon has behaved so far pretty well, where the all India departure is plus 6%, which is normal to slightly above normal. And most of the regions in India, state-wise, also performance has been good. Most of the states are either normal or above normal, except North India. So the impact on southwest monsoon rains is not going to be that much because, like I said, it's in the withdrawal phase, or the last leg of monsoon is here. What about withdrawal? So, generally, La Nina will kind of delay the withdrawal because the more moisture comes into the Asian subcontinent, so it will allow the monsoon to linger on for a while. But already since northwest India, the withdrawal symptoms are being shown. So, although withdrawal will start, let us say, by third week of September, let's say after 21st or 22nd of September, if the withdrawal starts, but it's not going to be a rapid withdrawal. It will be much kind of a phased out withdrawal, and the withdrawal will happen over a period of 1 month or slightly longer, like within 40 days, the withdrawal will happen. That's why I'm saying that the withdrawal will be phased manner. It will not be very quick. So once the withdrawal start, it will happen very slowly, and the final withdrawal from of the southwest monsoon from Indian subcontinent will most likely happen around second, third, or fourth week of October. That is what I expect because of the La Nina conditions that are prevailing, and that also means that the northeast monsoon may also onset may also get pushed. So we may be looking at a slightly delayed onset for the northeast monsoon, probably by end of October or first week of November. That is what is my prediction, based on how La Nina generally behaves. So this due to La Nina, since this is low pressure exists here, high pressure and high pressure exists on these two sides. So the trade winds will also be stronger, and that means that the equatorial Indian Ocean will also behave in a very rapid manner, or it will be very active, and that could mean that the cyclone season may be very busy in the sense that between October to December, we may see a good amount of cyclone in the Bay of Bengal, and that is also due to the fact that the MJO or the Madden-Julian Oscillation will visit the Indian subcontinent multiple times during this period between October and December. So the cyclone season may be a busy one. We may see more number of cyclones compared to last year, where we saw only one cyclone during October to December month, which was Cyclone Bulbul. But this year there are chances of more cyclones, normal number of cyclones, which is three in Bay of Bengal. So we are looking at a busy cyclone season. And what about the impact in Australia? Australia, since the ascending limb of Walker cell is here and trade winds are being pushed, flood-like conditions are possible in most parts of Australia. La Nina generally gives flooding to Southeast Asia and Australia, but since the La Nina has kind of coincided with the monsoon season for Australia, so Australia should be on the watch because they may get some very heavy rains causing floods. As far as North America is concerned, the wildfires that are going on could be a result of the La Nina conditions, because there are warmer temperatures in the western parts of North America. But looking at the winter, during winter, what will happen is the jet stream. If you look at the jet stream, generally since there is a high pressure that exists near the 30 or 60 degree latitude, where the subtropical jet stream and the polar jet stream exist. So what is going to happen is the jet streams dip down to much lower levels, so the polar vortex becomes more unstable. So the cold air is pushed further down south, and because of which you can expect winter storms extreme winter storms or temperatures below normal in during winter times in most of the U.S., like northern part of the U.S. and Canada. And since the jet stream affects the subtropical jet stream as well, like the polar jet stream affects the subtropical jet stream. So for India also, the winter is expected to be harsher than normal, and even the parts of central India and southern India could get freezing conditions, in the sense that cold conditions. And in general, the number of western disturbances may also increase, and we may be looking at above normal rainfall for the northern parts of India, and winter rain may also be high. So we have to be on the watch out. It is good for rabi crops, but at the same time, too much of rain or frigid conditions is not very good. But on overall, the winter is expected to be slightly harsher than normal because of La Nina conditions, mainly because the jet streams dip down to much lower levels. So this will be the overall impact of this La Nina if it sustains up till December or January of next year. So I just wanted to cover that. I hope this video was useful and you learned about what are the impacts of La Nina, what to expect for India. So just to summarize, withdrawal may be delayed in the sense that it will not be a rapid withdrawal, it will be a phased out withdrawal. Northeast monsoon onset may be pushed, and in general, La Nina means that northeast monsoon performance may be below normal because of cooling of Central Bay. So we have to be on the watch for northeast monsoon performance, and winter may be harsher because of the dipping of the jet streams. Okay, so this is the general impact. I'll be back with more updates later. Thank you for watching this video, and please subscribe to my channel for more updates.